All right. Well, we got a big game heading up to play a rival game against Syracuse in the Carrier Dome, and I know from personal experience what it's like to go on the road and play up there, and it's always a tough environment. It's always a great football game. You know, Syracuse is got some real talent. Their quarterback Eric Dungy, whether he's playing or not, I have no idea, but I really feel like he may be one of the top 3 quarterbacks, if not top 2 quarterbacks in our conference. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the country. I think aside from his physical skill set, I think his intangibles, his toughness, his leadership, to me is completely dominant in their football program. I'm very, very impressed by him. Zach Mahoney, I think, is got a world of talent. I think he throws the ball extremely well, and I've watched him play, and I'm really, really impressed with him. I know Rex Culpepper. I knew his dad when I was at Florida. What a great competitor, family, great competitors. He comes from great football bloodline. So those are all 3 guys. Whichever one of those guys play, I have the utmost respect for all 3 of them. I think they're all super talented, and really, really impressed by them. You know, I think Dante Strickland and Mo Neal both, I think, are very good running backs. I think Strickland's exceptional back. I think he's averaging close to 4 yards a carry, and he's a tough physical back. You know, and then there's skill players, the receivers. You know, I think Steve, Ishmael, and Phillips and Butler. I know all those guys, and I think they're excellent, fantastic skill players. So I think, you know, the quarterback receiver thing is a great dynamic for them. On defense, I think they're playing, you know, very physically on defense. And, you know, I knew Zaire Franklin coming out of high school in Philadelphia. That was about the time I believe I was coming out of Temple coming here. I think Zaire has got a real knack. He's a real football player, real nose for the ball. I think he's outstanding. We've played against him a bunch, you know. I like Paris Bennett a lot. I think he's a hell of a player. Evan Foster in the back end. They've got talented guys. I'm impressed with how hard they play. I think they play really hard on defense, and they bring a lot of pressure and create a lot of pressure. So this is a talented football team, and they've been in some unbelievable games. We all saw how they beat Clemson, and how they've played really well against elite teams in our league, and I respect all of that. I know Dino. Respect Dino a lot. I think Dino has done a great job. So they'll be well prepared, well coached, and I'm sure highly motivated. So we're in for a huge challenge up in Syracuse, and we need to have a great week this week, preparing in all 3 phases. And we've certainly got enough work to do in our 3 phases. So we're busy today preparing hard. And with that, I'll take any questions.
I'm assuming by receiver, quarterback, you're talking about Steve Ishmael, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's up for the Biletnikoff Award.
I mean, he's completely dominant player. I think he's certainly one of the very finest players in the country. I mean, he is a great player, and I mean that. I mean, I think he's a dominant guy. You know, you watching a conference, there's elite guys in the conference. He's one of the elite guys in the conference.
Just talk about your quarterback situation. Are you going to platoon a little bit, or is it you going to stop with Wade and go with Terry?
Yeah, I mean, Darius is our starter, and I think EJ, we were able to get in the game as we said we would. Last week was the first time he took practice reps really substantially with the varsity, so to speak, with the starters, and you know, so he had to. I mean, he's been dynamic, you know, running the scout team and doing a lot of things, but he had to. This is the first week of having to work the offense, if you will, with all the motions, adjustments, checks, different things that come along with that. So I think that was a big step, and then we got him in the game. I would have liked to have played him, as I said, after the game, probably at least another series. And so this week, once again, he'll share reps with Darius and in practice, and then we'll evaluate it at the end of the week. But I thought Darius did a great job in the game. Really proud of Darius. He played well, made some big plays, managed the game well, did some really good things, and that was a week for him to get back and get all the reps. He's taken a very small amount of reps because the starter gets the majority of the reps. So Darius is going to just continue to improve, and because just by sheer fact of getting those reps in practice. It's hard enough for any position, never mind a quarterback. You got to get the reps. That's why anytime something happens to your starter, there's a lot of stress on the number 2 guy because it's always disproportionate.
With Ben in that front seven, that you're probably going to need a more potent passing game. You just can't run it down their throat, I don't think.
It's hard to run it down anybody's throat. I think, as you know, we've really worked hard on our throw game, and I think, probably last week really wasn't very indicative. We tried to throw the ball downfield a little bit. We dropped a couple balls, but it was pouring rain. I mean pouring rain, and it was cold. And and I thought we kind of got a hot hand with the offensive line in the backs. Both backs had we rushed for over 330 yards. We had a hot hand there. So, but, no, we're going to spend a whole lot of time in our throw game. They bring a lot of pressure. And when you do that, you got opportunities in the perimeter. And we have the ability to strike there. So we put a lot of emphasis on that. And even though we didn't necessarily show a whole lot of that, we ran it last Saturday into 8, 9-man boxes. But we were able to, so I think, we're in conference play again. And I think we'll be back to where our mindset has been. And we know, one thing we do know, we'll have the perfect weather, And, probably a great advantage for them too, but obviously. But, we're not going to deal with elements. That's not going to happen.
What was Cheever's role before Cam got hurt, and how did you assess his play as a starting player?
Well, Hamp has been in the game in certain situations in nickel and dime deals. He's made plays in all the games he's been. He's kind of that guy, He makes plays. He's got great body control, and he's got tremendous ball skills. He's very, very nimble, and he's got great quickness, change of direction. He's just a little undersized, and he's getting bigger. He's come a long way since he's got here, but he has exceptional talent. So he's gone in, made plays, and done a great job for us, and he'll continue to grow and get better. He's got a very high ceiling.
Just comment on Ty Schwab's play over these last 5 games.
Well,
I haven't seen a letdown at all.
Nah, he's just playing really hard, relentless football, He's all over the place. Plays very physically, and he's preparing real hard. When we talk about is football your world, football is Ty Schwab's world. It's his world. He's all about it. So he's great. He's fun to coach and great to be around.
Coach, talk about your success in the rushing game. Was it the offensive line on Saturday, or
it's both? John Hillman had over 100 yards. AJ had a couple 100 yards. Obviously, you're not doing that if the offensive line's not doing their job, and the tight ends. So I thought they played really well. We played really well up front.
And then with Darius Wade, does he prefer to be under center or at the shotgun?
That's a good question. I think in high school he was a shotgun quarterback, but aren't most of them today? He's totally comfortable under center. And but we're a shotgun team on third down. First and second down we're more under, although we have been some in shotgun. I still think that we have a rookie freshman center that I think is a lot more comfortable under center, and we have 2 big-time tailbacks that, like any tailback, any tailback wants to be at the top of the eye and get the ball 7.5, 8 yards deep and have total vision running downhill. That's so. I think Darius. I think when he's throwing the ball, he'd want to be in the shotgun, and he is. The only time he wouldn't be with us is a lot of play actions. In play actions we do a lot of play actions from under center, but that's different because that's a different setup than a drop back pass. So I don't think it's a factor.
You mentioned Syracuse suppressed front blitz a lot. Will that change that mindset, or will you keep the same first, second down, and then third down, different scenario?
We're pretty multiple right now. We really are pretty multiple. The quick game was started underneath the center. Quick 3-step drop. I think play actions, quick game, those types of things. We see a lot of, every week we see a lot of pressure. Very few people don't bring pressures against us. Now, when they bring pressures, they bring in zone dogs? Are they bringing man pressures? I mean, those are all the different questions. But most people want to stop the run by getting an 8th man in the box, you know, or one more than you have formationally. I mean, whether they blitz to it or line up in it, they want to get there to it. So that's not anything new. It's same old, same old.
My last question, I'd like to get your take. You've seen both sides of this rivalry. You coached Syracuse,
Mm-hmm.
MLPC. Obviously, a lot of big moments in this rivalry. 2004, Syracuse had a big win here, cost BC a Fiesta Bowl. BC's had a lot of good wins over the years as well against Syracuse. Just your take from both sides.
Well, the only side that matters for me is this side. This is where I am, and you know, it has been and is becoming again. We're in the same conference, you know. It's been an Eastern football rivalry, and you know, of course, being in the same conference on the same side of the division, you know, adds to that. And you know, it's just you know, ACC team 4.5 hours up the road, and we're gonna clash and battle each other. I love that in college football. You know, there's a couple other teams you'd like to see realigned in our side, you know, because I mean, it's just the old Eastern football. I mean, I think that's awesome, you know, and fans can drive to the game and all that kind of stuff, you know. And back in the day, I mean, even more so. I mean, really battling for, you know, same recruiting areas and everything. I mean, shoot, when I was there, I recruited this whole area back in the day. And so I think it's good for college football. I think it's good for Eastern football. And it's, you know, I think it creates for fun rivalries. And so I'm excited that that's become that focus again, you know, because I think in every conference there should be rival games. And in our conference, I mean, this gives us that tremendous opportunity. I mean, when I was at the other place, I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, it's a big game, circled on the schedule.
You can just talk about how gratifying it is to be going to the bowl again.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. It's great to see the kids in college. You know, football. It's a preseason goal, and so when you achieve it, it's a barometer of success, and it gives you obviously an unbelievable opportunity to get another month's worth of practice, which allows you to develop your team, and that's critically important. When you lose that really hurts you. And you know, we've been very fortunate here to have gone to 4 bowls in 5 years, and have the opportunity to develop our players. And I think postseason play is exciting. I mean, you want to be, and it matters in recruiting, and you want to be in that whole hub. So it's fantastic, and it's gratifying. I think, you know, having the schedule that we've had this year and the way it's played out, I think has been unbelievable. You know, to be able to, right from the beginning, we, you know, battling in every game and overcoming a bunch of stuff along the way and playing really talented teams. And I think it's been part of the development of our team, which bodes very well as we move forward here this week and in the future, obviously. And, you know, we've got a chance to showcase so many young, talented players that are as talented as they are anywhere in our conference and in the country. And that's really important. So for, like, think of all these freshmen that have unbelievable important roles in our football team right now. They get a chance to extend, you know, into the bowl. I mean, never mind the obvious ones. What about the not as obvious ones, like Brandon Sebastian as a corner, or, you know, or C.J. Lewis as a wide receiver, or Jamil Berry as a defensive nose tackle, or God, keep going on and on here. I mean, they're all over the place. And those are the guys, to me, you know, E.J. Perry. I mean, these are the guys, you know, Travis Levy. I could just keep going on and on. These are the guys that met a guy like Tate Haynes, super athletic, talented guy that needs to get the Hunter Long. We just feel like he's got unbelievable potential. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm just naming guys that I know just can't wait myself to see them grow and develop. I mean, Isaiah McDuffie, I think you've seen flashes of him on special teams. He flashes. He is the real deal. And so continue to work with these guys, you know, very, very exciting. You know, Alec Lindstrom, I'm watching him like his brother develop right in front of my eyes. He's exactly as Chris was. The only difference is Chris had to play as a freshman. Alec doesn't have to play. You know, and Alec's going to be, 285, 90 pounds next year. And he's an animal. I mean, he's going to be a really good football player. So, like, that's a guy. Like, you can't wait to watch him in bowl prep, you know. Offensive lineman that needs all that work. Fantastic. So, anyways, I kind of rambled on with your question, but that's how I feel.
Let's go back to Bennett a little bit. Just talk about his motor. I mean, does he have like a Coniston hand motor? Get Bennett from Syracuse?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
During the week all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a really good football player. Yeah. I think, yeah, absolutely.
Coach, I know you're talking about the bowl win. Just talk about what a win against Syracuse to me. Get 7-5 versus 6-6. That mindset to go into the bowl season, the difference that it plays versus winning versus losing.
I just think, you know, you want to win every game you can win. I think every one of them is unbelievable, you know, and here we are. This is our last game of the regular season, and we got to go up there on the road and go beat a very good football team. And so, yeah, I mean, it means the world to us. I mean, being bowl eligible, we know now we're going to play in a bowl game. That's a great thing. We know that. But that's got nothing to do with our approach to this football game right now. Our approach to this football game is it's the Super Bowl, and we got to go win it. And so they're all huge. And here's another one. Obviously, a rival game. I mean, our kids. We got together yesterday, and trust me, we got their full attention. I mean, they know how talented Syracuse is. They understand the rivalry game, and so I think our kids are very, very mature, and they have an unbelievable amount of respect for Syracuse, and are really anxious to have a great week of preparation. I would anticipate we'll have a heck of a week this week, you know, and I'm excited about that. I can see the look in their eye.
How will you handle the holiday schedule? Thursday,
yeah.
The schedule.
You know, we have a system that we use here that I came and brought with me that we used to use back when I was with Urban, and I like it. We kind of have a normal week. On Wednesday, we'll have a little Thanksgiving family dinner with our team and our families in the evening. And then on Thursday, we'll practice in the morning. And we'll practice a little bit earlier on Thursday so that kids that have an opportunity locally can go home and be with their families. And, you know, those that are further away team up with either coaches or players and go to and are able to have a meal with you know, a Thanksgiving meal with the families, and then they can relax in the afternoon and enjoy Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is meant to be with your families, and they'll be with their football family or their own family. And then we'll be back here ready to roll, you know, for our walkthrough meetings on Friday morning. So we kind of give an opportunity to really be with family if they can be on Thanksgiving, and we try to create that same atmosphere the night before on Wednesday night, which is what I love. We'll do the whole deal, turkey trimmings, the whole 9 yards, and I just really enjoy that piece of it, which we normally do on Wednesday nights, but this will be a Thanksgiving dinner. So it'll be a great week for everybody. Okay, thank you guys.